Hi everyone and welcome to a brand new feature on the channel where I'll have small interviews and chats with many of the mod authors out there for Skyrim and other games, as well as fellow YouTubers. And the first person to join me in this series is DarkFox127. Now he's a mod author for Skyrim and is responsible for such mods such as Miascoom Estate, Merchants of Skyrim, Riverside Shack, and the latest addition to his collection, the Dovahkiin Shout. Firstly, I'd like to apologise for my bad audio on my end. You can hear Dark Fox just fine, but mine is a little bit tinny and a little bit quiet. Unfortunately, there's nothing I can do about that in the rendering of the video, so I do apologise for that. And in this video, we're going to talk about mainly Dark Fox's mods, what has inspired him to do modding, how he started, and also his future plans for other games such as Fallout 4. You can also find an article for the written version of this chat on openworldpcgaming.com and of course nosgaming.com.
So this is for real now?
This is for reals, not just for play.
Right then.
I'll start off with the most obvious of questions. How exactly did you get into modding? What was the first thing you decided to do?
Well, we can start from Skyrim modding, which is where my serious modding coming from, or we can start from sort of way back when I was a kid, stuff I used to deal with. So I don't know if you want to know a little bit about that first.
Yeah, we'll go all the way back. Yeah, we'll wind the clock back to how long ago was that?
Oh, I have no idea. I'm going to feel old now. Maybe 12 years or something stupid. When I was a kid. I mean, I used to. If you've ever heard of Time Splitters 2.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I used to love that. It's like everyone used to just like to do the arcade fun part of it, you know, blowing people up. And then I was like, wait a minute, what's this editor thing? So I used to dabble around with that quite a bit. I was like, this is interesting. And my cousin would be sat there with me. Like we used to game quite a lot every weekend. And I used to mess around with sort of, it wasn't exactly coding, but it was understanding the logic of how things go together, how to get certain events to fire off. And I played around with that. My cousin was like, I don't know what the hell you're doing. I'm like, oh, it's fine, it'll work. Used to make little maps and play around with that. Then I used to play sort of Far Cry, I think it was Far Cry 1, yeah, and 2.
On the PC,
No, actually, no, it was on the consoles. I only got on PC about 5-6 years ago.
Okay, so that'd be the Far Cry Instincts.
Yeah.
Was it? Yeah.
Them ones and Far Cry 2, I think. I used to make maps for them. And then I had Halo on the Xbox. Yeah, Halo on the Xbox. I mean, Halo Reach used to make loads of cool maps for that. So I've always been pretty, I don't know if I've been really creative, but I've always liked to create things, make things. And then when I come to PC, where one of my first games is obviously Skyrim, major games anyway. And then I just noticed this creation kit. And I was like, what the hell is this thing? So watched a few tutorials from Bethesda. And I'm like, oh, this is cool. So this is quite interesting. I do like making things. I had no idea that it was a proper, full-on kind of much more detailed tool to what I'm used to. But I was like, okay, I'll have a look at this. Load it up. I'm like, how do I even load anything? I was utterly useless. I didn't know what I was doing. So okay, I watch these tutorials again. And I'm watching them through. I'm like, yeah, this is good. This is interesting. These guys sound a little boring, but I mean, yeah, they're getting the information across. I'm like, that's cool. So I'll start dabbling with that, and before I know it, I'm making some follower mods, which nobody's probably ever really played.
Yeah, I've not seen those. I don't think.
Yeah, that was back on like the Steam Workshop when I uploaded to there.
Right, yeah.
Atrocious thing that, but never mind. But yeah, when I used to upload in the workshop and made these follower mods, made a couple of other things, and I made like Way Shrines of Skyrim, which has kind of disappeared. But I'm making that, and it's just gone from there really. And I've just kept modding, kept learning, kept creating things. So it's kind of wasn't planned or anything. I just saw the creation kit, started dabbling in it, and now I'm sort of doing a bit of scripting and making huge mods.
Yeah. What's been the biggest mod that you've made so far then? Would that be Miascoom Estate, or is there something?
I don't know, biggest in terms of size, time it takes, or
amount of time it's taking you to like put it together, work things out.
Well, current Theatre Tower, pretty much the original one. But now the one that I've really been working on for a stupid amount of time that people like, is this ever going to get released? Is obviously the reborn version. That's what I'm working on right now. and I've been trying to push that the last few months. I've really advanced that quite a bit. I wouldn't say it's nearly done, but it's starting to feel like it. So that's probably my biggest project that I've done.
Cool. And what new things have you tried to add to that then, the redone version?
Just updated features. I mean, the crafting. The original version didn't have like a Hearthfire style crafting because when that was released, obviously there was no Hearthfire, none of that. There was only one mod that I know of, which was like build your own home or something.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
That one. Yeah, I was like that's pretty cool. It's the only thing that really did that before Hearthfire. And after I saw Hearthfire and stuff, and I saw the build your own home mod, I started messing around, and I was like, okay, I think I can figure my own script out for this because I had no idea that you could actually just go in the script folder and figure out how Bethesda's worked.
Yeah.
But I sort of whipped my own script up, got better at scripting. So over time, I've made some really nice features, put them in my other player homes like Riverside Shack and Mershcombe Estate, obviously. And now with Corinthia Tower Reborn, I want to take everything I've learned, everything I've kind of upgraded script-wise, feature-wise, and I'm putting all that in there. So I'm messing around with something called dynamic NPCs, I like to call it.
Right, yeah.
My own invention, I suppose. It's that I put in Mershcombe Estate, but this is being a little more advanced. So I've got a cool feature where you can get the NPCs to change the clothes depending on the time of day, and then their wardrobe will kind of update. So if they're using their work clothes, their other two sets of clothing are in there, and vice versa and stuff. So I'm just working on cool features like that.
Yeah, sounds pretty good.
Mostly scripted stuff. I'm really enjoying kind of scripting at the moment, stuff like that. So I suppose I was going to say not to give it away, but I've given away quite a lot through my Twitch streams anyway. So, but the main features like the tower rising from the mountain, that kind of thing, cool features like that, just things that I want to make people go wow. So compared to the original version, I want to make this one really magical. So I want to do some really cool stuff with it, like it rising out of the ground, making it go invisible, and cool stuff like that. So hopefully it works.
That sounds really extensive.
Yeah, that's why it's taking too long. I mean, I'll make one feature, and then about 2 months later, I'll be like, I can make that better now, or oh, I've got another idea, or another idea. So it's quite a lot of fun, though.
Yeah, I can imagine it probably is. Yeah, but wow, I don't think I'd be able to do something like that. I'd be forever. I don't think I'd ever have a finished article. I'd be tweaking it every 2 seconds.
Yeah. Well, that's it. I mean, I've kept working on it, so I've got to get to a point. I really need to try and finish it now.
So do you think that would be probably your mark on Skyrim modding once you've completed that? That would be your...
Yeah, I hope so. I think it's going to be my last major mod, and then people are like, oh no, you're going to stop modding. I'm like, no, I'm going to mod Fallout. So it's all good. I'm just not going to mod Skyrim as much. I can't really say what I'm going to do. Am I going to go back to Skyrim modding? Am I even going to like modding Fallout? I mean,
that's true.
I don't know yet. We've got to see what Fallout's like. I mean, we haven't actually played it yet, so.
No. Are you one of those people that will obviously pre-install it off Steam, say, and then take a look at the files and have a look in there first, or?
That's funny because I don't think I will. I think I'm going to just get it if you can pre-install it. I'll do that, and then as it's on the day, I'll hit play, and I think what I'm going to do, I'm just going to play it. I'm not even going to look in files. I'm not going to look at anything like that. I'm just going to play it. I'm just going to try and enjoy it like everybody else. And the thing I was planning to do is a let's play. I don't know if it's going to work or not. I don't know if it's going to succeed. I've tried to let's play in the past, and I don't think people have been too interested. But with something like Fallout, I think I might have a chance of picking up a little bit of an audience. And what I was going to do is, as I play it, I'm going to try and pick up some mod ideas as I play. So
yeah, it sounds good.
That's the idea.
I mean, I've tried Let's Plays in the past as well, and I came to do really well for the first couple of episodes, and then I just seem to not have the time to keep recording them all the time. So mine have faded out quite a bit. But
it's a pretty difficult thing to get to.
I mean, there's some great Let's Players out there. They get it right every time, but for me, I don't understand how they do it.
So I mean, Gopher's pretty much got
that's the
straight away
go-to, isn't it? Really,
yeah.
He's had a fantastic career on YouTube at the moment, so
he has, yeah.
Something to aspire to, I guess.
What was the question? Did I answer it?
I think it was how you got into modding. Yeah, you pretty much nailed that one on the head. Yeah. Time Splitters 2 was an absolute fantastic game.
Yeah, that
I
was
can't remember
amazing.
what console I had that on now. Was that the PlayStation 2?
Oh, I
Xbox?
think it was PlayStation.
That's one of those
Because
ones that the first one, if I remember correctly, the first one, you literally just had to get to the end zone and pick up a briefcase or something. And
I
then the
think
second
so.
one, they
Yeah,
brought in like the team deathmatch type stuff. And
yeah.
then I barely remember the third one. I don't think I played that too much. I don't think I liked it as much as number two.
Nah, that didn't kick off too well now.
No, I think the main character I used to play as well was the monkey. I think that
Yeah.
was that's the key thing,
Oh yeah.
being a
I
lot
used to have
shorter
some
than
fun with
everybody.
monkeys. I did. I used to have I used to make levels with just like monkey deathmatch and stuff.
So, tutorials and Twitch streams. You do quite a few of those.
Yeah. Twitch streaming, I'm getting into a little now. So
Yeah. So have you got more of a set out production of your Twitch streams, like what you're going to cover each time, and more of a schedule than you've had recently, or?
um, schedule wise, I'm going to try and work a schedule out soon. I mean, I'm just going to let things settle at the moment um, in the real world, but I won't go into that. But I'm going to let things settle. And then once I'm sort of settled because I've moved house, kind of thing, which a lot of my Twitch viewers know. Um, Once I'm settled, I'm gonna try and work a little schedule out, maybe 2 days a week. So I really want to get the Twitch streaming going. I mean, I've been watching Wheeze a lot, and
Yeah,
that's quite fun, quite entertaining. Got a bit of a community built up there. And I'd like maybe not something quite on that scale, but a nice little community together where I can sort of Twitch stream 2, 3 times a week. So that's quite interesting to me. I've been getting into that a bit.
okay. So when you Twitch stream, what is your aim at the moment? Like, what's your past streams? Is it being showing off what you're working on, or just showing little tutorials of how to mod in Skyrim and things?
Well, it's pretty much just been me modding Tower Reborn.
Yeah.
That's it, really. So people can tune in, they can get some good sort of tips on how to do certain things as I'm doing them. I'll usually cover a few different topics. I mean, one stream I might be doing like 2 hours of just pure scripting, which might bore the hell out of people or interest other people because like, oh wow, how does this work? Or I might end up jumping between things. So 1 minute I might be making a new NPC, then I might do a little bit of scripting, then I might do something completely different.
Okay. So is most of the work that you're doing on that mod, is it going to be shown via Twitch, or is it mostly you're going to do it offline and by yourself?
I'll probably. It's about. It used to be that I'd do about say 2 hours of streaming it, and then I'll be doing like another 10 hours offline. But
Oh,
now it
yeah.
seems to be mostly Twitch. Funnily enough, I feel like recently I've been working a lot more on it when I've been streaming because while I'm streaming, I've got people watching. They're expecting me to actually do something. I feel, I suppose, more motivated to do something while I've got people viewing and really enjoying watching me. And I tend to be working quicker and getting things done. Whereas when you're offline and you're just on your own, you get up, you make another cup of tea, you grab some biscuits, you whack a video on or something,
Yeah.
and then you back and forth between modding and doing other things.
Yeah.
Whereas, like I say, when you're Twitch streaming, you're just focused and you're interacting with the chat, and they're giving you ideas, and it's pretty good that way. So
Have you had any great ideas from the community during your Twitch stream to
that's
make
a
any interesting bits?
very good question because just the other night, I think it was 2 nights ago. There was somebody in my Twitch chat who I'm now going to credit on the mod because he came up with something and everyone in the chat was like, wow. I was like, yeah, that's going to work. But for the tower, I might as well tell everyone. I try and keep secrets so that
Yeah.
it's a surprise from the mod, but it doesn't work. I just tell everyone anyway because I'm too excited. But we were sat there kind of like looking at the exterior, watching like this dragon fly around because you'll have like your own dragon guardian kind of thing. He'll sort of fly around the tower, protect it from other dragons and any NPCs at the entrance. And then one guy came along and he's like, "Can you ride him? Like, can you ride that dragon? Maybe have him land and then you hop on his back, like you can in the Dragonborn DLC." And I was like, "That is an amazing idea." And then everyone was like, "Wow, that would be awesome." I was like, "Oh no, I've got to name him now, and I've got to ride him and everything." So yeah, that is. I get some really good ideas from the Twitch chat.
That's good. That's
Sometimes.
even better reason why to do it via Twitch, so you can get instant
Yeah,
feedback and instant ideas. That's really good.
that's it. I mean, you asked if like I do it to show it off or to show modding. Yeah, well, it's kind of a bit of both. I do like to show it off. I mean, I tend to have to say 2 hours if we've been modding a load of stuff in, then I'll go in and do some bug testing, and we'll run through pretty much the entire mod really quickly. Although it's that's not representative of how long it'll take when somebody picks it up after it's finished, because I mean I've got a load of cheats activated on a character, so I can run through, blaze through, and test things quickly. But yeah, it's like, and we can be sat there a good hour and a half of the stream just showing off features, and then people who have already seen it are like, yeah, this is working a bit better, or there's still an issue with that. And then you've got some people coming in like, what are you modding? And they'll see me test this thing out for an hour, and they'll be like, wow. And I'll get some feedback off new viewers that are showing up, and they get to see a little bit about what it is. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, sounds good. I mean, I've never used Twitch before in the past. I've not really got anything to stream, to be honest. But that sort of thing makes me want to try it and see like, how the instant feedback works and get into that sort of thing. Have you ever been tempted to use YouTube's streaming function?
Well, at the moment, I haven't got an awful lot of, I suppose I could say, stable viewers on Twitch. And like, if I was to jump onto YouTube now, I don't think a lot of people would follow me, or they're quite happy with Twitch at the moment. So, although I don't really like the Twitch service all that much, you know, like technically it doesn't work brilliantly. It's pretty flawed in many ways, but it's really the go-to place for people to stream. It's not about how good it is. It's the fact that it's the most popular place. Yeah. And I don't think Google would be that much better. Plus, you've got the sort of content copyright issue going on with Google at the moment. So I'm going to tend to stay away from that. Nice. So, and I'll stick with Twitch.
Okay, cool. So most of your mods, as far as I'm aware, you've worked on them yourself, but then you've got quite a few that you've done a collaboration with.
I think there's been 2.
We've got Morscombe Estate, or how do you say that? Morscombe?
Yeah, that's fun. That's a good topic. How would you pronounce
with that name?
Who did you think? Come on, it wasn't me. It's got to be Eleonora, hasn't it?
Yeah.
So she came up with that. I think I'll tell you the story. We were sat there like talking through Steam chat, and we're talking about it, like doing this home, and then I can't even remember how it came to just start. I think we were just talking about, it'd be cool to do a mod together. You know, we've been talking on here for like a year or 2, something like that. It's like, yeah, it'd be good to do a mod. Then we're coming up with ideas, and then all of a sudden it branches out from there. It's like all of a sudden she's building this home and then sending me screenshots through Dropbox, and I'm like, oh wow, yeah, this is looking awesome. It's like we're going for this snowy home. Then we're like, okay. And she's like, we'll stick it in Dawnstar. I'm like, we need a name for this. And here I am coming up with absolutely useless generic names. Then she comes up with Mershcombe, and I'm like, what does that say? I'm like, how is that pronounced? And it's very difficult to tell someone how it's pronounced through chat. So she's like, oh, how is it? She's like, mer, as in bird. I'm like, okay, so I'm like, mer. Okay, I got the mer. Then she's like, think skooma. And I'm like, what? Skoom. She's like, yeah, Mershcombe. And I'm like, Mershcombe. And eventually I was like, yeah, sod this. I was like, right, have you got a mic? She's like, yeah, I got a mic. It's like, okay, have you got a minute just to tell me how this thing is kind of thing? I think we went into chat. I was like, it's Mershcombe. She's like, yes, you've got it. Mershcombe. Mershcombe, yes. Okay, good. It's like, now I know how to pronounce it. Nobody else is going to know. It's like, oh, dearie me. But yeah, that was fun. But yeah, Eleonora come up with the name, and I was like, you know what, it's much better than anything I'm going to come up with. It's unique. And yeah, I've watched a number of your videos, and you don't know quite how to pronounce some of her mods. It's
I haven't got a clue. No, I just
it's like everybody's the same.
And then I say it a couple of times, go, yeah, that'll do. That's nice. That sounds alright. I can say it the same every time, so that's good. We'll stick with that.
Yeah.
So I still say Morscombe. Morscombe? But it's
a lot of people like Morscombe. It's to know. It's like, no. So it's Mer. Like, I don't know.
Maybe we should include a little soundbite on the mod page so people can click it and find out how it's...
That's a good idea, actually, yeah. That's a good idea.
Every time they go through the front door, it just goes, Merscombe. There you go.
Yeah. So this mod is pronounced Merscombe instead. So have it in the MCM or something, like you can tick it off if you've had enough of knowing what it is now.
Yeah.
So okay, I know what that is now. I can untick that.
Or just edit a couple of the NPCs around in Dawnstar and just make them talk about it all the time and put their words in. Yeah,
that'd be a bit more immersive.
Yeah.
I suppose, yeah. But yeah, it was fun. Like the NPCs, I think that's about the only bit of questing I did. I got the NPCs to do a couple of things. That's something else I want to do in Chronicles Tower Reborn. I want them to
Yeah.
say a bit more, to be honest.
So are you doing any voice for that, or are you going to do
I think
silent?
I'm gonna kind of. Have you got a mature audience? Am
Um,
I okay to swear, or would you prefer not?
we'll do a bleeping system. So every time you're going to swear, just bleep.
I'll try not to swear then. But I was going to say something. But yeah, okay, I forgot what I was going to say now. But uh, I'm not gonna do it that way.
Okay.
I'm gonna kind of get around it. I'm gonna take snippets of vanilla dialogue, I
Okay.
think, because it's going to be more like simple commands that you have. So you can, hopefully, if I get it working, that is, you can go up to an NPC and say, take a break. So if they're in the middle of working, then they'll be like, okay, thanks, sir, kind of thing. So I'll take snippets where they're like, as you wish, or whatever, little snippets of dialogue and put them in that way, and then just script them to sort of change packages, AI packages, and they'll be like, okay, I'll take a break, and they'll wander off for an hour and just go and eat something like that. So that's probably how I'll work the audio. I'll take
Okay.
snippets from the game rather than trying to do extensive dialogues and
That
such.
make it probably a little bit more immersive as well, I would imagine.
Yeah, it'll really fit
And
into
then
the
you haven't
game.
got that issue of trying to mess around with the audio, getting it into the right format, etc., the right volume, everything.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure that we've very much covered your favorite mod is going to be your new one that you're creating now is going to be the highlight of your Skyrim modding.
I hope so. Yeah, I
Um,
never played my first one myself.
which
I
one was that?
never,
Oh,
I
is that the
never even
NPC
played
one?
through it. The original
Yeah,
Corinthia Tower. I never
yeah.
even played it. I hated it afterwards. I learned so much more after making it. I was like, I come back to it. I'm like, I don't even want to use this. This is absolutely dreadful. So the only one of my mods I've used myself because I don't play enough. I mod too much. That's my issue. I mod it so much I barely play it.
Yeah.
But the only mod that I'm actually 100% happy with is Riverside Shack.
Oh yeah.
And Merscombe Estate I would be completely happy with if it wasn't for like the fact that we can't really mod it now. We got too many like sort of technical issues with it with loading into the kit. It's
Oh, okay.
Let's just say it's that advanced that the creation kit can't handle it anymore. It's got too much going on in there. Uh,
Oh
but
man.
yeah, but yeah,
Oh
I'm hoping like my new one will be my favorite one,
yeah.
my biggest and best mod, where it's actually gonna it'll just be polished really well, hopefully, more than anything, and big, full of features, plenty to do.
So moving on to future plans then after this one, have you think in the pipeline that you would like to do Skyrim as like a finisher offer, or are you gonna literally, like you say, pick up Fallout, play it, and then have a look at modding that?
Uh, with Skyrim, I know a lot of there's I don't know about a lot of people, but a few people saw my Merchants of Skyrim. I think
Yeah.
you did video,
Yeah, I did a
yeah.
video on that, yeah.
Like it was a work in progress, and I was really happy with that. But I mean, as is with a lot of mods and modding, sometimes you lose a little bit of interest when you're modding something, and that kind of happened with that. So I went off and I started working on Tower Reborn again, and then I've got stuck on that. But what I might do is I might go back to that Merchants of Skyrim. I did the other month actually. I went back and did a couple of things and shared some screenshots with like my community and stuff. And so that's what I might do Skyrim wise. I might just go back and slowly finish that and do a couple more sort of towns and stuff for merchants with that. And then the plan is basically, yeah, I imagine Fallout is going to be pretty awesome and very well received. I can't see Bethesda messing it up, not from what I've seen.
No,
So
they've done too much with other games not to mess this to mess this up. I think they've learnt enough to be like, here's the finished product. Yes, it's going to have bugs. I imagine
yeah,
it'll have tons of bugs in there somewhere.
I'll be disappointed if it doesn't.
Yeah, I think it would
Every Bethesda
lose the
game's had
Bethesda
bugs.
quality on
Yeah,
it, wouldn't it, if it didn't have bugs?
yeah. It's like the one game where bugs are acceptable.
Yeah.
I think, or the one franchise or game developer.
It's fair.
So
I expect bugs every time I put Assassin's Creed on nowadays, to be honest. I think it would be
yeah,
rubbish if I didn't see like weird faces or popping arms and and textures and heads and things. So
yeah,
I'm expecting for the new Assassin's Creed there to be a multitude of bugs, especially on PC. It's always to be
Oh yeah.
expected on PC. But yeah, Fallout
yeah.
4. From
Fallout 4.
all the videos that you've seen so far on Fallout 4, has there been anything you've looked at and gone, I really think I could add this to that, or tweak this around, or...
Honestly, no. In fact, when I saw the house crafting system,
Yeah, and that was
I
pretty
think
advanced already, wasn't it? That was...
my reaction was like, uh-oh, what the hell am I gonna do? I was like, I don't know what the hell I'm gonna do now. I'm like, oh, damn. So okay, let's calm down. I'm like, this is a good thing. It's like, I still think there's going to be a lot of people that don't want to do that. As awesome as that is, I think there's still going to be people that are going to be like, oh my life, I cannot sit there for 3 hours and build my own house.
Yeah.
So they'll still be looking for like pre-made houses and such. But yeah, it's like, so that, I still couldn't really think of much without seeing it, what I could improve on there. And other features, I don't know. There's always going to be that whole immersion thing, I suppose, immersion that people like to use all the while. I think, was New Vegas the one that had like a hardcore mode
I think...
or something like that? So it was really like the wasteland was pretty damn dangerous or something like that. I remember.
There's been overhauls for both of them that have done, for Fallout 3 and Fallout 4, Fallout New Vegas, sorry, that have done those sorts of things. But yeah, there's quite a few more for New Vegas.
Yeah. Well, there's always going to be that, basically, isn't there? There's
Yeah.
always going to be, the game's not going to be 100% realistic, and people are going to want to try and push that. I mean, well, their version of realistic, you know. People are going to want you to starve to death and things like that, or have to find enough water and make things really, really difficult. I mean, stuff like Frostfall for Skyrim. There's always going to be something similar to that people are going to want to do, isn't there? So it's not like they're going to end up doing that much in Fallout that there's nothing to mod. There's always something to mod, but in terms of plans with it, for me, because I haven't got any solid ideas until I've played it, I'll just play it through when it's out, and then we'll have a few months until the kit's released, and I'll get ideas, and I'll pick ideas up that way. So I was thinking of doing a Let's Play, and I'll see how that goes. And through that Let's Play, I'll just be like, hold on a minute, people, I'll just note an idea down, and I'll see. But there was one thing the other week, because I've moved house, I had 2 days without the internet.
Wow, 2 days.
But yeah, it's like, I thought, what can I do? I'm like,
it's like, oh, I know what I'll do. I'll check my... Oh, no, I can't do that.
No, yeah, that's it. It's like, it was quite funny. I thought, I'll hop in the kit and I'll try something new. I've got this little idea. I'm like, people seem to be obsessed with these horde modes.
Right,
so,
yeah.
And you got Gears of War had a horde mode, and after that, it's like, oh, everyone's got a horde mode. So, okay, and people seem to love them. And I'm like, it's kind of cool. I was like, could Skyrim have a horde mode? I'm like, just like, it'd be difficult to put into lore, but I mean, not every mod's got to be lore friendly. No. I'm like, okay, Fallout probably could. I'm like, Fallout could have a full horde mode, you know. You start off with just bandits, or you have ghouls, or then you eventually have like deathclaws coming after you and stuff like that. Yeah. Thought that'd be awesome. So I thought, well, I've got these 2 days. There's not a lot going on. I'm just waiting to move, and I'll dabble with that. So started messing around, and I'm like, all of a sudden, in like, what, half an hour to an hour, I've built this arena out of like prototype blocks or something from Dawnguard, and it looks really like ridiculous, but I've built these little structures up, and then I'm putting these X markers down, I'm marking things out. I'm like, okay, I'll dump some bandits in, leveled items, and all of a sudden I've got this little system working in Skyrim. I've scripted it out in like 3 hours, and it's like, it starts off, you get this one bandit who walks out of this little room, and then you kill him. It's like wave 1 complete, and then you get another 3 bandits, you kill them, wave 2 complete, and it spawns things like weapons or little power-ups. I'm like, this is quite cool, but it's not going to work for Skyrim. And I realized if I was going to do that, I was like, this is going to take a long time, because what usually turns out, starting out as a basic idea, explodes into something ridiculous for me. So, I mean, it's like, yeah, I have this little wizard's tower, then all of a sudden it's like, bang, it's like this massive thing rising out of the ground. It would just explode into something. So this little mod idea of a horde mode has suddenly turned into something that could be like 100 hours of work. And I'm like, well, it's not worth doing that for Skyrim now when Fallout comes out. Plus, I could fit it into Fallout. So if there's any one mod idea, to answer the question, that I've maybe got for Fallout, it's a little horde mode thing. if somebody doesn't go and steal my idea now.
Yeah, yeah.
Do it for me. But
We'll put a
yeah, it's
copyright
like,
mark at the end of the video so that people can
yeah.
deter
But
people
that
slightly.
might be one thing. I don't know if I'll do it, but because I might think of something even more awesome when I play
Yeah,
it. But
it sounds like a good plan because from what I've seen, they've got that, obviously build your own house, then a village, etc., and you can do it all over, build your own settlement. And then they've got the thing where super mutants will attack, raiders will attack. So you're
yeah,
very much building upon some structure that could already be there, and then
that's it.
improving
Yeah.
upon that. So that sounds like a pretty
Well, I
decent plan.
figure depending on how the crafting system works, I might be able to do things like barring down the doors and stuff, like building maybe turrets and stuff like that.
Yeah,
So it'd be, I mean, yeah, people would be like, well, you're doing that when you're making your home, you're going to have things attack. It's like, yeah, but I mean, this is going to be like a dedicated tower defense thing,
yeah,
which would be more interesting. You have to keep maybe the structure in place and not die, I suppose, is the main thing.
yeah. So
So
maybe like a separate thing to the actual Fallout 4 game
yeah.
in terms of
Well, I was thinking lore-wise, I mean, in the past they've had things like these virtual reality things that you can go in, and I
yeah,
figured maybe it could be either a gaming system or what most of the vaults were. They're always experiments, weren't
yeah.
they,
So
for,
yeah,
for various things. I thought, well, maybe this could be a virtual reality, a vault where there's just literally a load of people in the virtual reality, and I could fit it in that way. I could slot it in like that. Like you're trying out this virtual reality. Maybe when you get there, all the inhabitants are dead. Maybe they've been in it for too long or something, and their brains are fried. And it's a training simulator or something like that. So I could fit it in that way. So that'd be kind of cool if I do that. But that was like the one idea.
all right, sorted. I think you should start creating the mod page for that on Nexus. God.
I'll see how it goes.
Sounds like, to be honest, you talking about it then has made me really want to play that. So,
The amount of people on my friends list I've seen now playing Fallout 3, I'm like, you just can't wait, can you?
yeah, I must admit,
I've been tempted to load New Vegas or something. I'm like,
I booted up
no.
Fallout 3, had to go in that, and then went, wait a minute, I haven't really finished New Vegas, and then jumped in there, couldn't find any of my saves on the computer anyway, so started that again, and I'm halfway through. So it's like, and then there's things like obviously Metal Gear Solid got released a couple of weeks ago, Mad Max
Yeah.
got released, and Witcher 3 I've still not completed that. So I'm just piling up the games, and now I've gone all the way back to Fallout New Vegas and started playing that.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a bit crazy.
It's
Sorry.
go on.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
go on.
mentioned Halo 5. Well, not Halo 5, Halo earlier.
Yeah.
Have you got any expectations for Halo 5?
I'll be honest, whether people like it or not, I mean, I don't like it anymore. As
Yeah?
soon as after Reach, Bungie obviously
Yeah,
moved away from
departed,
it
yeah.
and handed it over to Microsoft, to like 343 Industries. After that, I got no interest in it anymore, to be honest. And I've actually got rid of my consoles now. About the only thing I've got is a PlayStation 3, which is gathering dust. That was a Netflix player until the subscription ended. So that's about all I've got. So I've completely gone off of console games now. I'm really just focused on PC.
On
So
PC. So what other games
yeah.
do you play on the PC apart from obviously the Bethesda?
I'm a big Splinter Cell fan,
Yeah.
so they need to get another one of them out. And I'm looking forward to Rainbow Six. I've always been a Rainbow fan.
Is that Rainbow Six Siege?
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
one. Yeah, was going to be called Patriots, and they're like, we're going to scrap this, change name, do it again. So that looks really awesome. That looks like one of the very few Ubisoft games that's really sticking to its guns. It's sticking to what it always has been. It's a lot of the games seem to have wandered away and very much changed. But I was looking forward to Division, and I think they changed that a bit too much.
Yeah,
Since
I've got the impression that it's been in development for ages, and I had really high hopes for it. The scenes that they showed, was it 2 or 3 years ago?
I
Looked really,
think
really
it
good,
was it E3 2013
but something
maybe.
like that, yeah. And
Yeah,
they just showed them walking down outside in like the deserted city, and then there was down in a corridor. The graphics looked really good for the time as well, looked absolutely fantastic.
yeah.
But then clips that I've seen recently with how the gameplay actually works and how you fight people, etc., it just doesn't appeal to me anymore.
Yeah, it seemed at first it was like, okay, I've got this little team. It's like my own friends
Yeah,
for, so community based in a sense of teamwork. And it's like you're attacking these NPCs and getting all the cars shot up looked amazing. I was like, this is going to be awesome. Go right in this building. I was like, this is looking badass. And then all of a sudden, E3 just gone. It's like okay, now it's community based, but it seems like we're all just going to work together to the very end and then betray each other just for like a loot and stuff. I'm like, that's absolutely not what I was looking for. I'm like, that's just totally changed. It's gone from like objective based, as far as I could see, like working with your friends, to all of a sudden just working with your friends to get random loot, only to kill each other for it. And it's like, yeah, that's completely ruined. And then they announced the new Tom Clancy, which, although I've gone off Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon, sorry, did I say the new Tom Clancy?
You said
Meant the new Ghost Recon.
Yeah.
Although I've gone off that series a bit because that like changed direction, and although it's still not going back to its roots, I don't think. I saw like the new trailer for that. I'm like, okay, now this looks like what I wanted from the Division 3 years ago. So now I'm keeping an eye on that. But other than that, any other games? Grand Theft Auto, obviously.
Yeah.
I've got really hooked on that online, especially.
Have you done any modding for that? Have you had to look at GTA 5 and gone something
Nah.
like that here? Nah.
The only modding I've really been interested in is Bethesda games at the moment. That's probably where I'll stay for the time being.
Okay. Cool. I think that's all I've got.
Tutorials?
Oh yeah, tutorials. Wow. See, we talked too much and then I forgot what we were doing. Right, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, do you want to talk a bit about your tutorials?
No, mate. Yeah. Tutorials. Shall we go from the beginning? Depends how long you want this interview to be.
We'll go from the beginning. It's always nice to have a story behind everything.
All right then. Same again. It's like when I dabbled with like the creation kit to start with. I was watching the Bethesda tutorials. They were pretty good. After I watched the five, I think they had 10 actually. I think they had 10 tutorials. And after that, I was like, that's cool. I'll go do that. And then I'll come back later on. Like, have they done some more tutorials about this? And I'm like, nope. Like, okay. Now I'm going to have to research the internet. So there I am typing in Google. I'm like, tutorials for this creation kit. I was like, there's a few people. Like, yeah, that's interesting. Got a couple of tips off other people. And then I started really dabbling with the creation kit myself. I'm like, okay, I'm going to want to know how to do this. I'm just going to sort of reverse engineer it, if you like. And I think the first thing that I figured out properly for myself, like major thing, was how to conjure creatures. Although that probably sounds like really simple to a lot of people now, at the time for me, it was like, how do you conjure a creature? I'd like to conjure this because you haven't got a spell for that. So there I am, messing around with this. And I'm like, I'm working on it for like 2 hours. As crazy as that sounds, it's like I couldn't figure out how to conjure a creature for like 2 hours. And then it clicked and I figured out how to do it. And I was like, yes, I have figured it out. And then it's like, that is amazing. Oh, wicked, I can conjure this and this and this. And then from there I was like, okay, maybe I can do a tutorial on something. What was the first tutorial? I think I had a series, a little build your own home series, which is dreadful. Nobody go near it. And even though I'm saying don't go near it, I'm still getting comments to this day like, this was really helpful, thanks. And then I watched it back the other day, I'm like, oh my God, this guy is rubbish. I'm like, he has no idea what he's doing. I was like, but I just sort of got better from there. I mean, I started tutorials with, what was it, an old Xbox headset, not Xbox One as in the new one, but the very original Xbox. I had this headset which is like just crumbling to pieces and taped together with sellotape, duct tape, and any other kind of tape I could find to keep it together. And I got that on my head. And I'm trying to record with that, and I got this dreadful camera with a perfectly square box with me like miles away. It's like, oh my life, it looked awful. And here I am recording tutorials with this. Sounds really crackly and dreadful. And then over time, I've just really got into tutorial videos, teaching people how to do things. I learned things, started reverse engineering more stuff, using the Creation Kit wiki, and just kept going, making mods as I went, making videos as I went, and then started to just build up a little bit of a following on YouTube, started getting subscribers, nice comments. I'm like, oh, this is cool, this is working. And then eventually I actually joined a German modding group, which cannot for the life of me remember the name dreadfully, but I wasn't with it for long. And at the time, I think I was making the original Corinthia Tower, and I joined that. And then that didn't last. I quit that. I was like, I really want to do my own stuff. This whole team thing isn't quite for me, like large scale. And then I carried on making tutorials. And then Nightasea, if you know of him, I'm sure you.
Yeah.
He contacted me last year or maybe 2 years ago, and he was like, "We've seen your tutorials. You know, we really like them. We've set in this new thing, but it's called like brainpoof.com." Like, oh, okay. And he's like, "Maybe you can do some tutorials for us. You know, there'll be a little bit of something in it for you. You know, if we get the website up and running, it'd be kind of interesting." I'm like, okay, so it wouldn't really take me away from what I'm doing. It'd just be something else I can do and play around with, and do some tutorials on for the creation kit. I was like, okay, yeah, I'll give it a shot. And he's like, the only thing is, you're gonna need a microphone. So a proper microphone. I'm like, okay then. He's like, well, he's like, the one that I use first is a Yeti. I'm like, oh, okay, Blue Yeti. So
Blue Yeti, yeah.
Research. I'm like, oh wow, that's nice. It's like, okay, so within 3 days, I got a Blue Yeti arriving. I'm like, yeah, I like this thing. I'm like, oh wow, that is clear. Set it all up. And so, yeah, my tutorials have gone from that rubbish old microphone to like now using like a Blue Yeti. I wouldn't say it's like full professional setup or anything, but just slowly progressed. I've learned a lot more, recovered old tutorials, and I don't know. I've just really enjoyed kind of teaching people how to do things with the creation kit. Although I wouldn't class myself as an expert by any means. I mean, I'm just like anyone else on the internet, and a lot of others that just do tutorials. They kind of learn how something works and then they just share it with everyone else.
Yeah.
So I mean, a lot of the time you'll get comments. It's like, yeah, how do you do this then and this and this and this and this? I'm like, well, I don't know everything. I'm like, I can try and help you out. I can try and do a bit of research. I'm like, but I don't know quite everything. I mean, there's aspects of the creation kit I haven't touched, like questing. Really, I've dabbled with it, and that's about it. I've just about got a quest to start or something, and that's about it. So I'm no expert by any means, but so I do like to teach what I do now. I quite enjoy doing it, and I plan on doing Fallout videos. So I'm hoping that the creation kit isn't going to be drastically different. I've got to learn everything again. I'm thinking it's going to be roughly the same. I think they'll probably keep the papyrus scripting roughly the same. It'll be a bit more advanced, as everything will, I imagine.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm hoping that they'll keep that nice and, I suppose, familiar.
Yeah, I think that would be the key really for them, is to, because they've always been good at helping the modding community and always left a nice big space in there for the modding community to work with, and they're also giving them the tools to do it. So I think it'll be familiar, and it'll be what you expect.
Yeah, hopefully, yeah. So I'm hoping I'll probably have a little bit of a head start this time, rather than starting from knowing absolutely nothing about modding on PC. I'll have a little bit of obviously experience, and I'll be able to jump straight into tutorials for Fallout when the kit's released, and that's what I plan on doing. That'll be a lot of fun, and then maybe dying down the Skyrim tutorials a little more. But that's how my tutorials kind of started, and then today, I mean, I'm even starting doing Twitch streaming and stuff, so it's a lot of fun. I think that's like plans for tutorials. Anyway.
One little question: do you still have that Xbox headset?
No.
No. No. Okay.
It went.
I don't know if it's gonna be like a nostalgia thing. You've kept it pristine, sellotape condition on your mantelpiece, and like, yes, that's where I started from.
This is where I started with this crumpled, like, jumble of plastic. It's like that was a headset once, but no, that went in the bin. I went through a few headsets. I think I had that. Then I moved on. I actually got a proper little nice Corsair gaming headset, and then one side broke, and it's ridiculous. But I couldn't afford another one, so okay, duct tape solves everything. So I duct tape the earpiece right back on, and I've got it there on my ear, so I'm like, okay, people can't quite see the duct tape, so I'm actually doing like about 5-6 tutorials with this thing duct taped, really irritating my ear. And then in the middle of a tutorial, I'll be there like, and then you do this and this, and it'll just like undo, and it'll just be dangling down like, oh god. So, and then that thing completely broke. So I had this really small room, basically living with my parents and stuff. So I was like, I kept treading on things. Everything got jumbled up cables, so headsets got broken all the time. And then I hadn't got the money for it, so I was like, okay, I'll just buy a cheap thing. They need to be able to hear me. So I got this cheap like £3 Chinese headset or something, and then that didn't last long either. That got broken, and then I got a proper sort of Corsair gaming headset, this big whacking thing that goes on my head, and I've still got that now. And then that's when I bought the Yeti. So
The Yeti, yeah.
yeah.
You still got the
So
Yeti,
I don't. I
Yeti's
don't.
still the
Yeah,
microphone
the
of
Yeti's
choice.
still there. Yeah, right, sat
Cool.
there.
It is a nice mic. I've got a blue snowball around here somewhere that I've had for a while
Yeah,
now as well. They're really good.
that's the other one I was looking at. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm actually using the Rodecaster at the moment, so
Yeah.
that's my microphone of choice. Just because the Yeti I got, for some reason, well, sorry, not the Yeti, the blue snowball, the stand just doesn't
Yeah.
work for me when I'm trying to position it around things, and it was just like falling over. And then so I bought a new stand, that didn't work, so I got fed up with that and just got a new mic in the end.
Yeah.
Probably not the cheapest option, but it solved over my crisis. So.
Yeah. Well, I'm pretty happy with the Yeti. I mean, people will end up buying like really, really professional recording equipment. It's like, well, I'm not really got a big enough channel or following for that to be worth the investment, and
Yeah.
I'm not sure I'd need to be honest, as long as it's clear enough. And but the thing is, these things pick so much up. It's like if somebody farted in the hallway, it's gonna pick that up. It's like oh god, I'm gonna have to edit that out. So it'll pick up all the fan noise. It'll pick up everything. They're really good in one way, and then kind of a bit too good in another. So I have to do a bit of kind of editing and get rid of fan noise and stuff now. But they're good microphones.
Yeah. What did you editing in at the moment?
It was Camtasia, and oh, what was it? I did Camtasia for one. I was like, okay, I want to do a bit more fancy stuff because Camtasia's pretty basic. It just does what you need. And I'm like, okay, let's have a little look around. I'll search for something. So I'm using Power Director. I think it's something like 13 or 14 now, and that's from, is it Cyberlink? And I was like, okay, this is pretty interesting, pretty cool. It's a bit buggy, but I mean, it does a lot more than Camtasia. And the other day, I was like, I wonder what Camtasia's like now. So I download the trial. I'm like, I can't remember why I came off Camtasia other than something a bit more detailed. I'm like, there's no reason why it shouldn't still be pretty good. And then I remembered why, because since one of the latest versions, the audio is dreadful. Like you'll record crystal clear audio and then you'll put it through Camtasia, poof, rubbish. It's like, what the hell is going on? Did a load of Google research. I couldn't figure out. I'm like, no, I just want it to work. So back to Power Director, and that's what I use at the moment. And I tend to just have templates. I'm sure a lot of editors do that. They just have templates, record, and then slot stuff in.
Yeah, that's what
so
I do,
it's nice and easy.
Yeah, those templates seem to keep changing, so I keep having to redo all the templates for all the different videos.
Oh, don't tell me about changing stuff. Intros and outros. If you check my last, let's say, 20 videos, I've got a pretty solid intro outro that I've stuck with for a while. And then one day I'm like, not happy with that. I'll change it. So I'll change it. And I'm like, oh, I don't know. It could be cooler. I'll do this instead. So I must have gone through 3 or 4 different intros and outros the past, 10 to 20 videos. It's ridiculous. And then obviously when Fallout was released, I'm like, well, I'm doing tutorials for this. Oh, I'll do an intro and outro for it. And now I've decided to do intro and outro. And actually, it's kind of your fault. One of them is.
Really?
Because I think I commented on one of your videos. I was like, wow, I love your intro.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that is amazing. I'm like, mine's terrible now. I've got to make a new one. I've got to make something fancy. So, so that's your fault.
I'm sorry.
But I've got it's like
that intro. That intro came out of, I don't know where it came from. I was looking at stuff for After Effects, and I was like,
yeah.
I liked what I had for Skyrim, the whole brick crumbling thing and and it breaks and everything. But then I was like, I don't want to have 2 different sort of intros for all the different videos.
Yeah.
Like for Fallout New Vegas and Witcher 3, etc. I want something that looks similar, but then is tailored.
It can work.
So that slideshow thing just worked perfectly. It looked the same, but then you got the different pictures from the different games, and I think it looks really cool as well. I really liked how it came together. So that was.
It's nice to have a change as well after like
Yeah.
you've used them for so long. It's nice to freshen things up.
I'm hoping
So
this one will stay with me for a while yet, though. So
yeah, it looks a lot more modern. I find out it's
yeah,
quite nice.
it takes a long time to look through all the different things you can do in After Effects and try and pick something that's nice and I like.
Yeah, but
A
yeah,
bit too
I use
clicky.
Power Director and it's like that'll do for me.
Yeah.
I'm not going into too much detail myself.
Okay, so your latest mod, um, uploaded in the 29th of August, was quite different from some of the stuff that you've done in the past.
Was a bit.
Is there anything you want to share on that?
It's a fun story. Dover Keeney. Oh, this was silly. Couple of weeks back, maybe a month. I think it's been a while now. I was watching Wheezy's Twitch stream. I was like, oh, this is cool. I've seen a bit of his streams before, but I've never like stuck at watching them. He's making these dungeons for the mod I can't pronounce, and I'm like, yeah, this is pretty cool. And I'm in the chat, and a couple of people like, oh, it's Dark Fox. I'm like, yeah, hello. I'm like, just me. I'm like, hello, how are you doing? And then we's like, hey, welcome to the stream and all this. And okay. So get chatting and I watched a few of his streams. Then the one stream I come in and just watching, got the chat going crazy as usual. I'm usually kind of sit back and stay quiet for a while until I got something to say. And then all of a sudden, I don't know how it came back, but he slipped his words and he says, Dovahkiini. Ah, and as soon as he said that, the whole chat just explodes. It's like, Dovahkiini, what's this? It's like the Dovahkiin in a bikini. And then within like 5 minutes, you got people posting images where they've edited the Dovahkiin, like the Dragonborn to have a bikini on, pink bikini. And you got people doing all sorts. And then the next thing, I don't know if it was me or someone else, but like, you should have an emote for this. He's like, I've got one emote left. It's like, do I really want to spend it on this or something? And this Dovahkiini starts to stick. Everyone's making Dovahkiini jokes, making Dovahkiini pictures. And then I'm sitting there and I'm like, I could do this. And I type like, we could have a shout. And then everyone's like, oh, wow, that would be amazing. And everyone's joking around at this point. They've just done joke images. And I'm like, you should have this emote. And then people are designing different emotes, but they've got to get it the right sort of look so you can make it out because of how small the emotes are, obviously.
Yeah.
And somebody eventually comes up with this really good one. He's like, okay, I don't really want this emote. He's like, I don't know, I'm not too bothered. So I only slipped, I only said Dovahkiini. And then I'm like, I'm making the mod right now. And then we're like, oh, really? It's like, you're not making that mod. So the chat's still going because he's doing like a 6 hour stream. Chat's still going. I haven't said a word for 2 hours in the chat. And then I show up in chat with a link. Or was it a link now? I think at first it was just like, I show up in the chat like, I've done it. It's like, done what? And Wheezy's like, you have not. It's like, you've actually made that mod. I'm like, yep. Like, it's a shout. It's called Dovahkiini. You shout the mod. It hits the NPC, kind of like Unrelenting Force, and their clothes disappear. And obviously, unless you've got a nude mod on, like especially the women will have a bikini on, won't they?
Yeah.
And it's like so Dovahkiini, and it kind of works that way. Oh my life! And he's like, you've actually made that, and it took a while. And I was like, well, I could just do a shout, but you've got to have the audio. You can't just have like Fusro Dar. So that's not going to work.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'll grab my Yeti mic, like. I recorded it about 10 times until I got it right. I'm like, Dovahkiini. It's like, oh, Christ almighty. I've actually done this. I'm like, okay, how do I put this in? How do I get the shout to work? It's a bit tricky. But I kind of got the shout to work in a bit of a twisted way. And like, okay, I think it's working. Pack it in the BSA. And as stupid as it is, my heart's pounding a bit. I'm like, I really want this to work, and I've sent it him. I want this to work because sometimes sounds and videos don't like being packed up in BSAs, and they don't work. So he might have ended up shouting, it just doesn't work. And I was like, I've got all these ideas for it, so I might even update it, as stupid as it sounds. But I've got these ideas for it. I'm like, well, usually you've got stages to a shout. And I'm like, the first stage,
Yeah.
second stage, and third. And I thought, well, I could do something funny with the first. I was like, it'd just be dough. Like, so dough. It's like, well, what happens if you haven't got the full shout going or you don't hold it long enough? So, well, it's quite funny. I couldn't stop doing it. It's just like, dough, "Doe." I'm like, oh, that's fucking hilarious. Like, so I put a little notification at the top. It's like, you can do better than that. So if you hold it down, it'll do the full shout, and that was entertaining. But I hadn't uploaded it. I hadn't posted it, and I'm like, I really want this emote. I thought, what can I do here to get Wheeze to do the emote for this? So he's grabbed the mod. I've sent it him on Dropbox or whatever. He's downloaded it. So let's try this out, sort of thing. And then I think at some point in the stream, like, I've got it. I'll subscribe. And I know he has his subscriptions come right up in the middle because he likes to thank people.
Yeah.
So it comes up like DarkFox has now subscribed or something. He's like, whoa, you've subscribed. He's like, thanks. And then it clicks. He's like, you're getting me to do this emote now. I'm like, I'll put in chat, I want this emote. I want this emote. It's like, you have to make this emote now. And he's like, okay, I'll do you a deal, he says. If you post this mod properly on your page, no fake names, no nothing like that. He says, you post this under your name, DarkFox127. You post it on Nexus properly and everything. He said, I'll do the emote. It's like, I manipulated him perfectly into making it. And then he got someone to design that emote, and he's actually put it through to Twitch. And about 3-4 days later, we got the Dovahkiini, and then everyone's just like, Dovahkiini, all over the place. It was like, oh, that is hilarious. And he like just tested it out like in the stream, and people are like, oh my god, this is ridiculous. Then you've got people making suggestions, like trying to script it so it just unequips the clothing so that they're dropping from the sky, and then somehow have them blow back so it's like their clothes flying off. So ridiculous. But that's how that came about. It's a joke mod. It's got like 120 downloads or something, but I'm not bothered about the downloads. It was like an inside joke. So some people are coming to the mod page like, what is this? It's like, Dovahkiini. It's like, it's just ridiculous. Like, there's been a lot of kind of joke shout mods, and I'm like, well, obviously I've had to go and add mine to the collection now. So that's how that come about. So it's just like an inside joke fun mod.
Yeah.
And I need to figure out how to get the word walls to work. So you can actually learn it off of a proper word wall, and maybe have to defeat a dragon to get the Dovahkiini shout or something.
Make it an established part of the game.
Yeah, that's it. Not that it'd be entirely lore friendly, but we can fit it in a bit better.
It makes a little bit of sense, because surely the Dovahkiin shout is powerful enough to rip certain items of clothing off.
Yeah. But I mean, you've got guards fully suited with helmets, and next thing, Dovahkiini, it's like, bam, no clothes, they're all running around with their swords, like, you've committed crimes against Skyrim. Half naked. It's fantastic. Luckily, it doesn't work on children, I don't think. I don't think it works on the children, that's good. I got to leave that. I got to make sure it doesn't. It's like, I'm not sure what else it works on. I think I've made sure it's just normal NPCs. Like,
have you tried on any animals or creatures or anything?
I don't think I have. I haven't played it that much. I just like the first bit of it, not the full shout. I just like running around going, go. So it's hilarious. And then you've just got like, I think I did it in Corinthia Tower Reborn in my stream. Now I've just got one of my Khajiits in there called Jothan. And he just looks at me like, magic is dangerous. It's like, you should watch what you're doing. It's like, amazing. It's funny, the combination of just stupid stuff sometimes is quite hilarious. It reminds you why Skyrim can be so funny even outside of the lore friendly stuff. So I mean, you just put some wacky stuff in. I mean, I never used to watch GameSpot. If you ever watch GameSpot show, like with Cam and Seb, I never watched that, and I hated it to begin with when I started modding. I was like, these guys are stupid. They're just doing stupid stuff, putting really unrealistic stuff into the game. This is silly. I don't like this. It's like really into my immersion. Like, it needs to be lore friendly. And then I've kind of got more into the fun bit of it, and I'm like, okay, this show's actually kind of entertaining now. Like, now I accepted it for how stupid it was. I was like, it's fantastic. So I was watching that, and I mean, that they've had a lot of fun, silly stuff on there, and that's kind of where sometimes you just want to load Skyrim up, put a load of stupid mods on, and just have fun.
Just have a blast in it, yeah.
Yeah, hopefully that Dovahkiini can go in someone's collection of stupid.
It might even hit the hot files, you never know.
No, well, people were saying that as a joke in the chat. They're like, everyone download it, it's getting on the hot files. Like, oh Christ, you don't want that on the hot files. You should see the image that think it was Goons he's made.
The one that's on the thumbnail.
Yeah, the one that's on.
Yeah, I've got that up. Yeah.
It's like, it's hilarious. It's just like, if that hit the hot files, people would just be like, "There's no hope for the Nexus anymore." Like, what is this? What is going on? Some of the stuff that shows up in the hot files. It's like, I don't know. But that's how that came about. That silly fun mod. But hopefully my next mod will be a proper one, a serious one. Yeah, Grand Theater it should be.
I think that's brought us to the end. It's been a fun and rocky ride.
Yeah, I've quite enjoyed it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we said off stream that I've not really said much, but it's because I've been so interested in what you've
I ramble as well.
Yeah, but
I will ramble. Yeah.
It's all good little quips. I like it. It's nice.
Yeah. Well, thanks very much for having me as your first guest, I suppose.
Yeah. I think literally were you the first person that sprang to mind as soon as I thought, right, I want to do this sort of like interview people, get to know the mod creators a bit more, fellow YouTubers and stuff, and I want to have this like chatty sort of session sort of thing. You were the first person that sprang up. Yeah, as soon as you commented on the videos just gone, as soon as that pinged up, as soon as that came up, contacted you, went, yeah, do you want to do this sort of like interviewy type thing? I was not expecting a response, by the way. I was
really.
Yeah, I was literally sitting there going, will he respond? Won't he respond? And then as soon as you did, I was like, okay, that's cool.
No, yeah. It come through on my YouTube messages, didn't it? First.
Yeah, I'll be the one.
I never tend to respond to them anymore, but I'm like, well, this is Nozzy. So I've got to respond. It is pronounced Nozzy, is it?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, right. Nozzy. Yeah.
I was like, yeah.
I'm at some point going to go for a rebranding and everything. It's going to be Noz Gaming, but Nozzy's still going to be there at the back. So.
Yeah, as long as Nozzy's there, it's like you don't want to completely change your name or something.
No. But it's just obviously the website and stuff. I want that to be the focal point, and then Nozzy to be like a part of that. So I think I want to be under Noz Gaming.
Yeah, I hope that goes well for you anyway. Because
yeah, cheers.
I do enjoy your content, see quite a bit. I mean, I don't watch as much as I'd like to. I've got that much YouTube stuff. There's so much stuff I tend to miss. I spend way too many hours sometimes sat there watching YouTube. Before I realise I've watched like 2 hours of YouTube, I'm like, whoa, what's going on? So, but yeah. I mean, who else is it? I mean, there's yourself and Brojul. You're probably my two favourite
cool.
mod reviews.
It's nice to be put in the same category as those guys.
Yeah, they're brilliant now.
Yeah, they were the first actual like modding channel that I watched, I think.
Yeah.
And as soon as they came on, I love the endings that they've got, the outros with dancing and stuff.
Oh yeah, they've got a bit of fun. I love it though because they're so serious through the entire video. It's like they'll slide a very clever joke in there or something, but they won't say it like a joke. They'll slide very clever little things in there, very cleverly, and then the end it's just like, let's just do something stupid. The outro. It's like,
well, I think every time I see the outro as well, it's just nostalgia pangs of like when Skyrim first came out and mods and things, and it's just I love watching the end of it. I literally would watch a Brojul video just to see it all the way through and then get the ending at the end.
Yeah. I mean, their first bit when it's like, hi and welcome to Brojul. Sometimes my audio doesn't kick in quick enough, or I miss it, and I'm like, nah, back to the start, please. I gotta hear the intro. I gotta hear that bit. Yeah.
Yeah. So cheers for doing this.
Yeah, no problem.
I hope to catch you again in the future. Maybe when you've completed the tower.
Hopefully,
and we'll have you back and have a little chat about that, and if you want to explain any features, etc. And
yeah, that'd
obviously when you've released it, I'll be doing a video for that.
Oh, you'll get it early anyway. I'll send certain reviewers early, like enjoy this. It's like, see what you think and hope you do a video kind of thing. That's what I tend to do.
Be good if you send it out as well. No additional information. Just try and work it out for yourself. See if you can get anywhere with it.
Yeah, if you don't want the guide, that's fine. If you don't want to read 100 pages, that's fine. That's going to be silly. But yeah, thank you for having me on anyway as your first guest especially. It's an honour.
Not a problem. Take care and good luck for the future.
You too. Thank you very much.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for watching this video, guys. This chat with DarkFox127. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please do click the like button. It means a lot. And again, I do apologise for the very poor audio on my part. It was very tinny and horrible, and next time that will be improved. For everything else DarkFox, please do head down to the description below and you'll find the links to all of his content. As always guys, thanks for watching and I'll see you next time.